Thank you both so much for your incredible leadership on these issues, what you've done to help to spotlight it. Just very powerful testimony today. Thank you. Mr. Beta Blau, I know that Solidarity actually works on issues in Burma, trafficking issues there. So I'd like to just ask you a question. Perhaps you could lay out what you think would be the right thing for our government to do. In Burma, a year after the Burmese military's brutal operations led to nearly 1 million people being displaced in Bangladesh, there is no relief in sight for the Rohingya. Compounding the humanitarian crisis in Bangladesh is the threat of human trafficking of Rohingya refugees. The International Organization for Migration, as well as Refugees International, reported in August that thousands of Rohingya refugees were at risk of falling prey to human traffickers who exploit them sexually and for forced labor. The non-governmental organization Fortify Rights has highlighted how Rohingya leaving by boat to other Southeast Asian countries to escape their current predicament could be victims of trafficking networks, similar to 2015 when Rohingya victims of trafficking were forcefully detained, abused, and sometimes buried in Thailand or Malaysia. The Burmese Navy intercepted 2 boats with 100 Rohingya refugees in the last few days. Do you agree with those assessments? And do you think that the administration is doing enough in order to deal with this issue? Do you think that they are sufficiently in conversation with the Burmese and the Bangladeshis in order to make sure that we fight hard on these trafficking issues in this region?
So when people are found in mass graves who were refugees, who were forced to work without pay in a place like Thailand, the answer to your question is no, we're not doing enough. When people are trafficked and discriminated against based on their religion and their ethnicity and their refugee status in Bangladesh because they're Rohingya, or in Thailand or in Malaysia, no, we're not doing enough. It needs to be a full-time focus on this is where we really see the nexus between racism and discrimination against migrants and refugees and closing civic space. These are all countries I just mentioned that have really restricted rights environments. And so not only are people migrants that are discriminated against, there isn't really even the civic space for them to form organizations and fight back. So no, we're not doing enough.
Okay, and what would you say to the administration right now? Give them their work assignment.
Oh, I don't know I have the time. I would start by saying that fundamentally labor rights need to be advanced in our diplomacy and protected in every single country. That includes Malaysia. I'm talking about for Rohingya, Malaysia, Thailand, and Bangladesh. That needs to be a full-time focus of our diplomacy and prioritized because that's where we're seeing the most exploitation is in forced labor of migration. So they need to focus on that, and I think we need to be more aggressive with our trade tools. We have GSP in these countries. We have other trade tools that we can use that we can actually suspend in order to make the point that we are prioritizing the human rights of migrants and refugees.
Beautiful, thank you. I can't tell you how much we all appreciate what you do every single day. It won't be forgotten. You've made an imprint on the committee and given us an agenda for what we should be working on with intensity increased on the part of each one of us on the committee. We thank you both for your testimony. And with that, this hearing is adjourned.